For those who haven't seen it, there's been some spicy recent news regarding the Hyundai N division, in particular their EV division of the N division, so high performance electric vehicles, which Hyundai's doing a pretty damn good job of, we've got to admit, if you like electric cars or not. And of course, they have an existing arrangement, if you will, with Gran Turismo with the N Vision GT, which is one of the coolest looking ones, certainly one of my favourite designs from that category, and a very strong one either in standard form or Group 1 form. They are announcing further partnership with Gran Turismo, revolving around in particular a certain iconic hill climb by the name of Pikes Peak. However, it's not all rosy, because I want to direct people's attention back to some of the wording included here. This could mean great things, but don't expect it to, because, and I'll probably show some screen caps of their actual own website page dedicated to this. In fact, we may as well read it straight from the horse's mouth. Hyundai N plans to collaborate with Gran Turismo. Hyundai N also announced today that it plans to collaborate with Gran Turismo GT, the popular sim racing video game franchise made for PlayStation consoles. Okay, sounds good so far, pretty standard PR fare. Hyundai N has a long history with Gran Turismo, with the Hyundai N 2025 Vision Gran Turismo released back in 2015. That is insane that it was that long ago already, almost a decade at this point. And this time, here's the crucial thing, Hyundai N and Gran Turismo will collaborate again for various sim racing activities, including, and here's what people are really jumping onto, Pikes Peak International Hillclimb, the PPIHC, participation. More details will come later this year. Now, the thing that I want to point out in that sentence is the word participation. See, that can mean a lot of things. To read the sentence again, Hyundai N and Gran Turismo will collaborate again for various sim racing activities, including Pikes Peak International Hillclimb participation. That doesn't necessarily mean it's coming to the game. That could mean something as simple as having a Gran Turismo banner on the windshield of a car as it goes up Pikes Peak. The Pikes Peak itself, let's not forget, is already sponsored by Gran Turismo, if I recall correctly, or at least they were for a time, and many vehicles that go up Pikes Peak have Gran Turismo window banners. So it's not exactly saying that Pikes Peak is absolutely coming to the game. Now, do I hope it will? Absolutely. Do I think it's a sure thing? Not a chance. I think that the more likely thing here is that, as it goes on to say in the article, they've got some sim rigs set up where people can race in Gran Turismo, probably using the N 2025, I would imagine, to race in Gran Turismo. And of course, it's a mutually beneficial marketing thing there. What I think will probably happen, and it does say wait for more news later on in the year, so hopefully this year, that would indicate we should hear more about it one way or the other. I would imagine this is probably going to be more so something like getting a Hyundai Iconic N into the game, and then maybe something related to that, like a challenge or racing or whatever. And that's basically the limit of my expectations. Would I like to believe that this means we'll get a time attack, or not time attack, perhaps a time attack, because that was talked about as well, but more so like a Pikes Peak spec EV from Hyundai with Pikes Peak? Of course, that would be incredible. If there's one thing we know about Gran Turismo at this point, it's that we need to temper our expectations, specifically when it comes to circuits. Because this year, if it's taught us nothing, it's taught us that circuits are not exactly in high demand for Polyphony's list of things to do in Gran Turismo 7 right now. We know of a couple of circuits which could or should be arriving, some which have been rumoured from pretty justified sources such as Motegi, which I talked about recently, this one potentially from Hyundai, and of course more that were leaked like Red Rock Valley and various others too. There's still no sign of them. It doesn't seem like Polyphony cares that much about bringing these circuits, because we're already well into the year. The last time we had a circuit was in Spec 2, which was what? November, with the snow course. Great addition of a track, and of course finally having snow in a game with snow tyres from day one was a pretty cool concept, but we've had nothing since then in the way of circuits. We've had lots of talk of circuits, but no actual circuits coming to the game. So ultimately, I'm definitely, as you can tell, measuring my expectations here. It would be awesome. In fact, I think most people would prefer having Pikes Peak to any kind of Hyundai actual vehicle, but I think Hyundai, if they were in any kind of position of really talking to Polyphony and getting their own, wants and needs on the table to be seriously considered, whoever is involved there in that marketing side would do well to realise that the real meat of this partnership is nothing to do with Hyundai's cars. And I don't say that to be mean, I say that to be realistic. What they need to push, if they really want this to happen and be beneficial to them, is push the Pikes Peak angle, because the players are far more interested in Pikes Peak than in any Hyundai vehicle. And of course, that's a sweeping statement, and I'm sure there are certain people who are the other way around, but the vast majority of players, I have no doubt, are more interested in having Pikes Peak back than they are in any Hyundai, let alone an electric Hyundai, Pikes Peak or otherwise. So people may end up loving the car, but it's the track that will put the butts in the metaphorical seats. So to me, that is the angle I would be pushing if I were working with Hyundai or for Hyundai. Really push the Pikes Peak side, because in the long run, that will benefit Hyundai as well. So it's a mutually beneficial thing. So ultimately, that's it for this bit of news and for my thoughts on it. Give me yours down below if you disagree or if you think there's something slightly different, which is a way to perceive this. And of course, we'll have to see how it unfolds in future. I'll see you next time with more news. And for now, thanks for watching.